Please welcome to the stage, co-managing partner of Bain Capital and chair of the Senior Board of Trustees, Jonathan Lavine.
And I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
I'm not dancing like Mithra, so. One, Jeannie and I want to thank you, Michael, for those kind words. We support City Year because of all of you. You earn it every single day. And Jeannie and I look forward to a time where people who do what they can don't get an ovation. We're proud to step up and do what we can, but you guys have earned it and you deserved it. So we're just glad to be able to support it, to support City Year. And in fact, Jeannie and I used to give most of our donations anonymously. And several years ago, Michael and Alan came to my office, and we were going to give the donation that wound up being the Lavine Center at City Year at the headquarters. And you know, Alan is a bit of a wallflower, but he really wanted he wanted us to be public. And he said, look, he said, it's really important. We want your money, but we want people to know that you stand with City Year every single day. And Jeannie and I have been proud since 1991 to stand with City Year every single day and have it grow with us. And, you know, I'm not the biggest person in the world, a little bit physically small, but I have never felt smaller right now because I literally and figuratively stand between two giants. Jeannie gave me some advice before I got up here to speak. She said, you know, Jonathan, when you speak in between two people who have won the Reebok Human Rights Award, you probably should keep it short. As your chairman, I have the honor of welcoming you to this magical event. Hearing the flag ceremony every year just gives me chills. It's an exciting time to be part of City Year, to see the second phase of City Year's long-term impact launch, and really to watch all of you make a bold and ambitious plan to tap the idealism and the talent of young Americans and to help empower students all over the country reach their full potential, and you are going to make it happen. Just this afternoon at the City Year Board, we actually had the opportunity to dive in this plan, and you should all know that the board is behind it every single way, and we unanimously voted to publicly put our support behind it. And to the senior corps members here tonight, a special, special thank you. You have completed a challenging and meaningful year of service, and that in and of itself is tremendous. And yet you have signed up for more, which makes you amazing. So if there's any theme to the organizations and the people that Jeannie and I try to support, it's organizations that try to level the playing field, that search for fairness and justice and create opportunity in our country. That's why we believe so much in you, that's why we believe so much in Michael, and that's why we believe so much in City Year. And every year, Michael has a wonderful tradition. He comes to my office, and for the holidays, he gives me a book. And a couple of years ago, he gave me a book that was written by a friend of his named Bryan Stevenson, and it was called Just Mercy. And I'm embarrassed to admit I had never heard of Bryan Stevenson and had no idea what the book Just Mercy was about. And I took it on vacation, and I read it, and I was devastated. I could not believe that this happened in our country. You know, I was reading it, and I thought, oh my goodness, I thought this was like 1956. And the dates were dates in my adult lifetime where Bryan was fighting and doing great work. And I gave it to Jeannie, and she was equally touched. And I called Michael up, and I said, Michael, you've taught me to lean in and to look for action. I said, is there any chance you can introduce me to Bryan? And he called Bryan up, or emailed Bryan, and I'm sure Bryan at first thought it was some crackpot fan who just wanted his book signed. But Bryan did find time to come and meet with Jeannie and I and Michael, and I'm proud to say that we've become supporters of his. And in getting to know Bryan, we've really understood that the stories are not devastating, they're uplifting. Because Bryan works to give people their lives back. He works in the spirit of, I've called him the Thurgood Marshall of our generation. He uses the system to fix the system. And there's nothing more American than that. Sam from San Antonio commented in his Why I Serve. He said to all of us, he serves because he wants to make sure the reality of the United States is as good as the documents behind the United States. I paraphrase that. Bryan is doing that. He is using our laws, our courts, and our Constitution to make America the country that we all deserve and that everyone wants it to be. I think Bryan is an absolute true American hero. He's a widely acclaimed public interest lawyer, obviously. He has dedicated himself to helping the poor, the incarcerated, and the condemned. Under his leadership, the Equal Justice Initiative has won major challenges, eliminating excessive and unfair sentencing, exonerating innocent death row prisoners, confronting abuse of the incarcerated and mentally ill, and aiding children prosecuted as adults. We were, I believe, one of 3 countries in the world before Bryan won the case, saying that children cannot be prosecuted as an adult. We were in the august company of Saudi Arabia and Myanmar. So Bryan successfully argued several cases in the Supreme Court. He won that historic ruling that a child in the United States now cannot be sentenced to life in jail without parole. He and his staff have won reversals, relief, and release of 115 condemned prisoners on death row. He has initiated major new anti-poverty and anti-discrimination efforts that challenge the legacy of racial inequality in America, including major projects to educate communities about slavery, lynching, and racial segregation. He is also a professor of law at NYU, I wish it was Columbia, and the winner of numerous awards, including a MacArthur Foundation Genius Grant and the National Medal of the ACLU. He achieves systemic changes through the courts, like you all are trying to achieve systemic change through the schools. He is giving hope for the future that they didn't know they could have, just like the red jackets Michael talked about, if only somebody had given that man a book. You know, you may have heard that there's some talk about making America great again, which always makes me bristle, because America has been great since the day it has been formed. Part of what makes America great is every day we try to make it better. And it is not a straight line, but it is absolutely moving forward and towards progress every day. And it is because of people like the man who spoke before me, all of you in front of me, and the person we're about to hear from, Bryan Stevenson, that America gets greater and greater and greater, and I am thankful for that. And with that, it is a true honor to introduce Bryan Stevenson.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed, no more back